here.
Oh, definitely, and especially with a young child, I think a lot of female writers experience a lot of pressure to just stay home with the kid for a few years until they go into school so that you can sort of spare your family the financial burden of childcare, especially when your writing isn't making money like mine wasn't.
I am trying to imagine parents who have their hands full with new kids trying to find time to write.
Yeah, there are a lot of women who do it and they write during naps and when the baby's down, and I was unable to do that. I just was taking care of my kid full time. I couldn't find the time.
All right, so you plan to use this money and the time it affords you to finish your first novel. It's set in the 1930s and 40s in the Four Corners region of Colorado. This is where you grew up. And you base it on stories you heard from your grandfather and great aunts. I want you to tell us the monkey story.
Sure. Yeah, the novel is based on a lot of stories that I heard from family members, and I've used some of them in scenes, but I've also just became interested in that time period. I had one of my great aunts, this wonderful, hilarious woman, spent some time working at a trading post on the Navajo reservation off of Route 66, and during that time there were a lot of tourists coming by, and they had a pet monkey that they would sort of show off to people, and after the monkey passed away, the owner of the trading post broke up the pieces of a stick that the monkey had peed on, and he sold them as some sort of Native American remedy. So tourists bought it to smell it for, aphrodisiac or something.
And it was monkey urine.
Yes.
Which I don't believe has any powers, so far as I know.
Who knows?
I mean, these stories are so good that they sound like fiction.
Yeah. I felt like I was just being given these almost irresistible gifts when they tell these stories, and I wrote them all down, and as I did, I started researching that time period and thinking more about it, and characters started coming to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I think I've stumbled onto a novel.
A novel and not a non-fiction account of your family.
Yeah, I do know a lot of stories, but I feel like that could be told, through a nonfiction lens, but I think it would be more interesting if I could make up some stuff and monkey with the time period so that it's, so that it's more overlapping World War II than my aunts actually did.
Where did you actually grow up? So the Four Corners region, but what towns?
The town is called Marvel. It's, I think, population hovering somewhere between 20 and 80 people would be my guess.
Marvel with a V, not Marble, Colorado.
Yes.
Don't confuse the two. And is Marvel good fodder for a writer as a town?
I guess, yeah. I tend to write about it a lot, even though it seems like there's not much going on there. There's a four-way stop where two roads come together, and then there's a couple of buildings, and that's about it. Some people have told me,